Namaste. What is the mind? This is a question which would have risen in every mind. Every human mind at some point or the other has this question coming up. Many people have asked me, what is the mind? And some people would even ask, is the mind here in the brain or is it here in the heart? Because we think with the brain and we feel with the heart. So, is that the mind? So many questions about the mind. Then I generally answer saying, the mind is not some part of the body, it's not just the brain or it's not just the heart. The mind is an entire consciousness which is felt in every cell of our being. Now, having said that, can we give a definition for the mind? So, when we think about a definition, the best definition I can think of is a collection of all thought forms can be called the mind. We all know we have so many thought forms coming up within ourselves, and a collection of all those thought forms is what we could call the mind. Now, when we say the mind is only our thoughts, then we need to understand a little more about our thoughts. We need to reflect on them a little bit. Thoughts are of two kinds, as all of us know. We have positive thoughts and we also have negative thoughts. And the only problem with us human beings is that many times the negative thoughts are a little more than the positive thoughts, and they are also a little more disturbing than the positive thoughts, of course. So, why is it like this? When we know that negative thoughts are disturbing, why are we not able to avoid them? Many times everybody says, have only positive thoughts, do not have negative thoughts. Everybody is saying that. It's the general mantra nowadays. But then there are also people, I've come across many people like that, who say, how can I have positive thoughts when so many things are going wrong in my life? My mind is always negative. So, how can I ever have positive thoughts? And I always feel such people are able to say that only because they do not understand the impact that negative thoughts have on us. Once we understand the impact that they have, then we would make a better effort to change them into positive thoughts without any doubt. And I can keep on talking about positive thoughts and negative thoughts. Now, when we have positive thoughts, supposing you sit for a little while and speak to yourself and give yourself a lot of affirmations. I am very healthy. I am very happy. Everything is going for me in the right direction. All the people in my life are cooperating with me. Some affirmations like this, some sentences like this, if you keep telling yourself positive sentences, within a little while, within a few moments or maybe a couple of minutes, you will find that you're sitting very nicely, your physical body, your body language becomes very powerful and your face becomes brighter, there's a smile on your face, your energy changes, it becomes really good. Positive thoughts have that effect on us. But the same thing, if you sit for a little while and mentally think of a lot of negative things, supposing you say, nothing is going well for me, nothing is working for me, nobody is listening to me, and everything is going wrong, whatever I want is not happening, I am not feeling well at all, my physical body also is not okay. If you have such thoughts even for a few moments, believe me, it plays a very devastating role on the body, on the physical body as well as the state of the mind. What will happen is even the body will droop, the face becomes dull, and you can see the impact of those thoughts instantly. That is the power of the thought form. Now, we can keep on talking like this about thought forms and the impact that they have on us, on the physical body, on the mind, on our behavior, everything we can say. But always when there is a little bit of scientific research about anything, then the findings of that research go a long way to convince us about whatever we are talking. So, that way, coming to the thoughts in our mind, Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese scientist, was doing a lot of research with water. He was taking the molecular structure of water, of different kinds of waters, and those pictures he has presented to the world, and it speaks a lot about what happens within us. Now, I will just show you some of those pictures. Now, for the first picture which we are going to see is the picture of simple regular water. He has taken a picture, you can see the molecular structure. Molecular structure is just one drop of water under a microscope, and that kind of a picture which shows the pattern of that drop of water. So you can see it is okay, it's just normal. Now the second one, he has taken water after saying a prayer over it. So prayer always brings in positive energy. So that water is charged with positive energy, and you can see the molecular structure, how different it is, how beautiful it is. Yes. Then in another container, he kept some water and played loud rock music near that water. Very loud music, metal music they call it. That music was, the whole place was vibrating, too much of noise. And after that, when he took out the picture of that water, the molecular structure, you can see how it is total confusion. There's no pattern, there's only confusion. And then he took water in another container, kept it, and played very beautiful, calm, classical music for some time. That energy went into the water, and then he took out the picture of that water, the molecular structure. You can see how beautiful it is. So classical music has that kind of effect. So this was shown. And then this third one is the most beautiful research, or the most beautiful experiment, you can say. He took water in 2 containers, kept them in different places. One container, he went near it and spoke very bad words. He scolded that water. Lot of negative energy was given. And then he went to the other container of water and projected a lot of love. He said, I love you so much. He really projected a lot of love on that water. And then he took out the pictures of both the waters in both the containers. And the one which received all the harsh words, you can see the picture now. Okay, see how bad it is, how bad it looks. And then look at the picture of the water which received all the love. You can see the difference, it's so beautiful. So that is the effect our thoughts or the energy surrounding the water has on the water and on the molecular structure of the water. So after proving all this, after showing all this, what he says is the human body, 70% of the human body is comprised of fluids only. Fluids meaning water, different types of water you can say, but fluids. So all of us know 70% of the human body is water or fluids. Now he says, after doing all this research, what he says is, so every thought form in the mind of a human being will immediately and instantly affect 70% of his body, because it is fluids. That 70% immediately takes the energy of his thoughts and responds accordingly. So if you think about that, imagine what is happening to our bodies because of our thought forms. When a person is very happy, he's very happy because of something which happened, something good which happened in his life, or maybe a very nice experience that he had. There's real happiness in his mind, there's joy in his heart. So what happens when he feels that joy and happiness, that 70% liquid or 70% fluids in his body, it is blooming with that happiness. And when a person is so happy and there is this blooming within him, it produces a lot of endorphins, and the immunity level goes up, the person's health becomes much better, and he is in a much better frame of mind. Now the same thing, if you think about, if the person has some negative thoughts, some negative emotions in his mind, supposing he is very vengeful about some person, he thinks about some person, somebody did something, he wants to take revenge on that person, he hates that person, that hatred, that revenge, everything is going on in his mind. Sometimes it can be guilt, sometimes it can be anger or fear, any negative emotion. Now what happens is, when the negative emotion is dominant in the mind, 70% of that person is reacting or responding to that kind of emotion. So what will happen is, the whole body undergoes a lot of stress, because that 70% of that body is undergoing that stress. And this results in a lot of health problems, so many different kinds of problems in the health. So many people have come to me, I've met a lot of people who would say they have been suffering from different kinds of, I would say, discomfort, and kind of, you can't call it disease, but they say, I have some problem in my body, something is not okay, but I've been going around to so many doctors, so many hospitals, so many times I did scan, I did this, I did that, blood test, everything, and all the doctors are telling me everything is normal, there's nothing wrong with me. But for the last doctor whom I met, they would say, he finally said nothing is wrong with your body, but you need to get some treatment for your mind. So that is why I came to you. This is what they would say. So ultimately, what it means is, if that 70% in the body reacts to happiness, then we are in a better state of health also. But when that 70% responds to the negative thoughts within us, then what happens is the whole body starts suffering. And in life also, whatever energy we emanate, that is what we start attracting. So when your energy is absolutely positive and brimming with positive energy, you attract the right circumstances in your life, you attract the right people in your life, and many things will fall into place automatically. But when your energy is a prickling negative energy, then you start attracting unwanted circumstances in your life. You start attracting unwanted people in your life, and lot of things go wrong also. So that is why it is very important that we ensure that the energy that we generate within us is always totally positive, no matter what happens in life. This positive energy can set right many things for us in life. So once you understand this, now I'm sure every one of us, after listening to this, definitely you will think about it. You will reflect about your thoughts and make sure that you always have only positive thoughts. So think about it and let that 70% within you always be brimming with happiness.